Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're tuning in. This is Alton, and you're listening to the name of that podcast with Alton. And that's it. So, normally, I got a co host, but this co host has been having car trouble, to say the least. Perhaps. Maybe he's just, I don't know, blowing me off. Just brushing me aside, doesn't even care. So hard to get people to care these days, be dedicated to the craft, passionate about what they're doing. You try, You teach a man to fish, and they throw their pole away. What's up with it? Anyway, who needs them? I figure, hey, Alton, you're sitting at your house every Sunday, still. Got a microphone and the audacity to have audio recording software, still. Fuck it. The name of that podcast is brought to you by Alton Knight. Alton Knight, born in Hawaii, migrated to Florida at the tender age of 5 years old and did a 2-year stint in the hood of America. I lived in some pretty nice neighborhoods in Florida. I lived in a suburb when I first got there. That was nice. Didn't know what suburbs were until I lived in a ransack apartment complex across the street from a swamp. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't even know there was anything wrong with where I was living. Up the street, there were like farms and county roads and shit like that. Then I moved up here, and it was the first time I saw snow. And snow's fucking whack. It could be alright. It's not the worst. Honestly, I'd rather get like snow than most other natural disasters, if I'm being honest with you, especially dry spells, or droughts, excuse me, where there's no water. Fuck that shit. Yeah, so thankfully, the name of that podcast is not being recorded in the middle of the desert, or it would not be brought to you by Alton. It probably wouldn't even exist. Right, Kenny? Kenny agrees all the time. So I don't know what we're really going to do today, man. Hate fucking talking to myself. Fucking garbage. Talking to yourself is fine. I say, like, talking directly to yourself is safe. It's when you start answering yourself out loud is when you should probably consider that you might not be the best mentally. But that's beside the point. What's really important is that we are having fun. Right, Eddie? Oh, shit. Yeah, this is going to be rough. So, what have I been up to, Alton? Oh, thanks, Alton. I haven't been up to too much. I applied for a sales internship at my job this week, and on my resume, I put that I host a podcast. This one, the name of that podcast. And if you've listened to it before, you know that, it's not really safe for work, Lots of black jokes, smoke a lot of cigarettes, and, it was a risk, to say the least. So we'll see how it pans out. I think it'll be for the better. I stand by my work. I like what we do here, and the name of that podcast is here to stay, whether or not I get a sales internship. So that was a really fun experience. It's probably the best resume and cover letter I've ever written. Excuse me. It's probably the best resume and cover letter that I've ever written because I took the time to do the research on how to do it, right? And I normally don't do that kind of stuff. So if you're on the fence about getting your shit together, take it from me. It pays to do that. What else have I been up to? Not too much. Went to the karaoke bar last night. Had a really good time. Hung out with some friends. Saw some friends. Made some friends. Ran into someone that knew me in high school, and I didn't remember them. It was like really vaguely, but I remember. Okay, so I remember what they look like, and I remember this person, but they were like sharing memories that we had together, and like that's when I start to feel bad because I don't remember. I always just chalk it up to having gone to a high school with like 1,500 kids at any given time. So yeah, that was fun. She seems nice though. She's into jam bands. And, I was relating to her about, like, learning about Mo last year. Just found out today that I'll be going back to Modown as a volunteer, which will be fun. Like Modown. Might get my friend to come out to go to Modown because it's fun. Jam bands are not bad, especially when you're doing drugs and drinking alcohol. It's great. It's the best, honestly. Last year, when I went to see Mo at Modown, there was a band Spafford that was there, and I won't forget them because they were on when I decided to take the best, like, 3-hour nap. I just laid out my blanket that I had brought with me. under a tree nearby the campsite. It wasn't but like 30 feet away from the stage, probably. Nah, maybe like 60. I'm not too good with measuring. And yeah, I just napped and Spafford was on and the fucking music was good. It was funky, it was groovy, and like I woke up and took the best selfie of my life. The goal of taking the nap wasn't to like take a selfie, but I knew that I had to capture the moment that I was at like the happiest I'd felt in a very long time. And it's a really nice picture, super genuine. This butterfly had landed on my arm, and it just like chilled out for like 10 minutes. I got to take a lot of good pictures of it. Didn't know my camera had that capability. I don't know how you're going to see those pictures. I'll probably make a link in the description below. Yeah, if you're listening to the name of that podcast on YouTube and you haven't done that already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll go ahead and hit the like button too. I love metrics. I love seeing where people are listening to us from. So we know where to put the chips. You know what I'm saying, baby? Hell yeah. Learning about analytics has been cool. Doing the name of that podcast, learn about audio production has been cool on the name of that podcast. Honestly, I feel like I've been going a little stir crazy, been stressing out in my life in general. Nothing impactful, just me stressing over things. I think it's because I haven't been doing this for a while, so it feels good to be back on the horse, right? So, in big Alton news, I'll be moving next month, which is exciting, but also stressful as hell because I have to save up the money to get the security deposit first month. So I gotta get my electricity turned on over there. Gotta get my own Wi-Fi again. So like I'm looking forward to having my own place, but all the initial capital is fucking bonkers. I don't know how I'm gonna come up with the money. I got a really meager tax return this year, but that helps. It does help. Every little bit helps. So if you want to give me money to help me move, I'm not saying you have to, but you can totally do that. Like I accept cash. I don't have Venmo, but I do have PayPal, so you can give me money if you want. The name of that podcast is brought to you by Panhandling. Excuse me, young brother, can I get some change from you, nigga? Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, it's Black History Month, and it's almost over. We've got a clean 6 days left in it as of this podcast being recorded, and I really fucks with American history. That's what I like to call Black history, because I realized, well, I learned something these past few weeks about the significance of Black History Month and like the importance of teaching current future generations about Black history. It's really important because at a time Black history just was not being taught in schools. And if you've been around me for the past few weeks, you've probably heard me beat this conversation over the head. But my point is, Black History Month was essential to kids learning Black history in school. Um, yeah, it made it so that Black history was only taught in February, but something was better than nothing at the time. And now, as the world approaches and is really in a state of multiculturalism to a positive degree, I think it's important that we immerse Black history chronologically throughout American history curriculums throughout the United States. I think that's really important. I think while Black History Month serves its purpose and allows us to remember a lot of people that may not have been remembered for their efforts, I think it is important ultimately to chronologically diffuse Black history into curriculums so that it just becomes a part of America and not a part of Black America, because it's not just that. You know what I mean? I think it would be so beneficial to the Black community to have our history lifted up to the same level as these annual aptitude tests would lead you to believe is important. You know what I mean? And while it is important to learn about the foundations of government and how the democracy around you is designed to work, I think it's kind of unfair that we only learn about amazing people in Black history for 4 weeks of the shortest month of the year. But that's my piece. The world will the world will still keep spinning, and we'll all still keep paying bills and being mad that we're poor. but I think it's something to consider. It's not going to burn the world down if it doesn't happen, but it's just something I'd like to see happen in the near future, or at least in my lifetime, because I think it's important. Speaking of things that's important, we have delicious sponsors who really have been nipping at the chance to get back in the game with us and put more money in our pockets in exchange for lucrative sponsorship. So the name of that podcast, before I forget, is brought to you by High Fiber Diets. You guessed it. High Fiber Diets are there for you. They make your shit solid, and that's solid with me. High Fiber Diets make sure Americans stay 50% more free from terrorists nationwide. Domestic terrorists. Let me be very specific. I think my least favorite part about domestic terrorism is that most of the people that do it are white. I wish domestic terrorism was more diverse so that people wouldn't use white people as a talking point for it. And this is not me coming to the defense of white people. This is me trying to push the needle forward and have a real conversation. But I think with that being said, saying all these things out loud, we can have a real conversation about the motives of all these domestic terrorist incidents and all the domestic terrorist activity. What are the motives for these individuals committing these heinous acts, right? That's right. The name of that podcast isn't funny today. It's fucking real. Because life is the greatest joke ever. And we're going to keep telling it. Anyway, white people, what are you doing out there? Sound off in the comments down below if you can tell me how come all these domestic terrorist activities keep happening and most of them are white people. I want to hear about the brothers that are snapping and running up in a school and shooting children. Actually, I don't want to hear about that. I'm tired of hearing about it in general, but I don't know. I guess it's just an astute observation. Anyway, speaking of white people, I miss my grandma. She passed away. She was white when she died. Well, she was white her whole life, too, so I guess that's worth mentioning before you guys just go whoa, maybe Michael Jackson did have vitiligo, which I do think he did. I do think he did have that. I think that he went through with bleaching his skin completely in lieu of vitiligo because I think it was easier to have an entirely white Michael than a Michael that was black and white in the time that he was performing and at the top of his career. That all being said, not a lot of people care about Michael Jackson and shit like that because he's a pervert and did all those bad things. A lot of people the jury's still out for a lot of people. A lot of people are pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson did all those things too. Here's the thing. He definitely did it in my opinion, right? And it's really sad to see that that's a thing that he did. On behalf of the children, it's really sad that it happened to those kids. But no, there's no but. Also, Jesus Christ. In addition to that, I think Michael Jackson's upbringing and childhood was extremely traumatic. And I'm not saying that people who were traumatized and abused and all of these things molest children. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it simply doesn't surprise me in lieu of all of that knowledge. Yeah. And I don't think that's controversial because I'm on your side. Michael Jackson molested those children. Most likely. I'm 85% sure, which is a B plus. Alright? I bring home a B plus to my mom. She's like, that's my baby. So I'm 85% sure Michael Jackson diddled those kids. But I don't have all the facts, and that's why I got an 85. Right? Anyway, I'm going down to Virginia next week to go visit my younger brother. He's a senior at William and Mary. He plays on the basketball team. He's a star big man. He's breaking records, man. He's averaging a double-double because he's a monster. And it's his school's senior night. So we're going to go watch him play a home game. And then we're going to party, which is fun because it's crazy to think my younger brother is old enough to drink and wants to hang, right? Which it's just blowing my mind. Yeah, crazy. I guess it just goes to show how long we've been alive. Man, that's really fun. Yeah, I'm over here gushing in front of a microphone, but this is really fun. I'm gonna have a great time. and we're going to have a great time listening to the name of that podcast. We'll be right back after some brief messages. You're going to have to get some of those still, even though I'm here by myself. But we're going to have a good time. We might, get a couple phone calls in, see how that does. But I'll be down for that. I don't know about the people like call, though. They might not be down for it, but whatever. Fuck them. We'll be right back. Hey there, it's your guy, Evan, and I'm here to tell you about a new and exciting product that you should really get behind. It's made by white people, but it's white people who understand, What are we selling? Well, I'm happy you asked. We are selling authentic, handcrafted Kenyan baskets. What's that, you might be asking yourself? Well, that's a great question. I'm not really sure. But you can bet that with a handcrafted basket from the suburbs, they're not from Kenya, they're still pretty good stuff, though. You should check them out. And you'll buy one, and all the proceeds will go to making more baskets, because that's what's important, right? As long as we're being aware of history and we're appreciative of the contributions of all of these ethnicities and their people, we're fine. We can sell Kenyan baskets guilt-free. So yeah, come on, buy a basket. It doesn't matter that, I'm not from Kenya or the baskets aren't from Kenya themselves. Stop it. Don't even trip. It's fine. Come on down. We're located in a cul-de-sac in Manlius, New York, and you can be sure to come on down and get an authentic, real Kenyan basket. Thank you. Dear Jesus, I need help real bad. I'm really going through it, and I'm at my wit's end. I've tried and I've tried, but my son will not stop playing basketball, and it's really putting the division on our family. My daughter, she plays lacrosse. Her mother, her late mother, she played lacrosse, and his father, that's right, my wife transitioned. I don't mean to dead name my wife. Anyway, her father was a rodeo clown, and I'm a rodeo clown. That's why my wife fell in love with me, because I'm a fucking clown. And my son won't be a fucking clown. He wants to play basketball, and Lord Jesus, I don't mean to swear in your house, my house. I pay the bills here, Jesus. Just wanted to let you know I'm inviting you into my heart and my house, so you don't get to tell me how I get to fucking talk in my own house. I'll need this right now, Jesus, Lord Jesus, help me convince my son not to play basketball, or at least let him get dunked on by a black guy. So he's really discouraged and doesn't want to do it anymore.
Hey, Mac, that's the bathroom. We're closed.
Hey, I'll be right out. Thanks. Sorry.
Anyone in here? Hello?
Sorry. Hey, Jesus, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'll be right out.
We're closed.
Why don't you leave me the fuck alone? I'm talking to God in here.
Hey, what are you doing? Are you listening to the name of that podcast? There's Rocky Balboa, Adrian. Hey, what are you doing? What a man gotta do.
Sir, would you mind? I need to spray these steps.
Now you get knocked down, get back up, and doesn't matter how many times. You get what I'm saying, buddy?
These steps are filthy.
Now you gotta do what you gotta do, boss. You do it. Do what you gotta do.
Hey, this is Alton on the name of that podcast, here to remind you that it's cool to be cool. It's also cool to not be cool. But I tell you what's uncool, being uncool. Tucking your shirt in, tucking your shoelaces in, tucking your glasses back up your nose. All that shit's nerdy, and it's not cool. You shouldn't do it. But, enough about me. We're out here having a great old time, chilling in the apartment, and we're rocking it. We're gonna talk to some real special people today, and we're gonna do some really fun stuff. But hey, what have I been up to? Well, that's a great question. Well, just the other day I was watching the Democratic debate, and oh my God, did you see what Elizabeth Warren did to that man? That man, Michael Bloomberg? Oh my goodness. She dragged him. It was insanity. I love it. My favorite tweet was the Brothers of Destruction coming out of the entrance ramp, and they were representing Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and they destroyed Michael Bloomberg. They exposed him, um, and that's it. That's it. That's my one note of the Democratic debate leading into the Nevada caucus, which I believe Bernie Sanders ran away with as of this recording. That's great. I don't really care. Honestly, I think the Democratic nominees should really try to work together. Um, some of them should just drop out, just like logistically, it just makes sense, and pursue their political careers. Get more wetness on their feet, and come back swinging some other time in the future once you really got your shit together. But hey, what do I know? I graduated high school and I've been working since I was 18. So far be it for me to give you a informed opinion on government and politics. I smoke too much weed. Anyway, speaking of smoking weed, I've been working on a comic book with my friend, my good homie. We've been brainchilding it for a while. It's been in the womb for a really long time, and we're finally birthing it on paper. It feels great. It feels really good. And yeah, that's what's been going on there. We're in the world building phase right now because I'm sure you've experienced this as a writer. You have an amazing idea that you think you want to put down on paper, and then when you get down to doing it, you realize that there's so much that you're missing. But you got to start somewhere, right? So that's been cool. That's been really fulfilling. It's been nice to do hobbies while I'm like still working, not really having like used to feel like I not have the didn't have the time to do this kind of stuff, but it's nice to do that now. Still making music, doing the right thing now. I haven't really been doing a lot of stand up recently because of my work schedule. It doesn't allow for me to go to open mic nights anymore, but that hopefully will change once I move back into Syracuse. That'll let me go to work on the weekends because the buses run more frequent in the city. And then I'll be able to get out of work at an hour that allows me to go do open mic nights, maybe like 2-3 times a week, which would be great. That'll get me back, writing my jokes. I have kind of fallen off writing jokes. Tim Joyce came back into town, and I had an opportunity to go to his workshop, but it was pretty short notice. I didn't have any material that I was working on, so I just passed up on the opportunity there. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about what I'm doing now, so we're gonna rock this until the wheels fall off. Hey, hey. So, I'm here to remind you that the name of this podcast is made possible by the fine folks at Audacity. It's free software, and you download it for free, and you plug in your microphone, and you can do this too. I doubt it'll be this bad. Couldn't be worse than this. And the name of that podcast isn't brought to you by Squarespace, because that's a dumb website. Squarespace, hey, you want a website? No, I don't want a website. I work a full-time job. What the fuck do I need a website for? Come to altonnight.com for updates on my cat. That's what Facebook's for. Squarespace is dumb. Get out of here. Business class software. These nuts. I'm not with it. If you use business class software, I don't respect you. You're not part of the dirt. You're not one of us. Fuck off. Yeah, those are my words, and I'm saying them in earnest. You hear me? This is real. But anyway, how'd you like that dead air? It reminded you and let you appreciate my voice. No, I'm joking. I went and smoked one of those weed cigarettes a little earlier. Kind of feeling the effects of it now. Playing with my dodecahedron and shit. Shout out to my D&D nerds. I have an opportunity to get into a D&D campaign soon. I think it's a World of Warcraft inspired campaign. I don't really care. I don't know anything about anything. I just know how to roll the dice and do the things, right? So I'm like, oh, I'll make my character. Can I not be a robot person? Alright, well, I'll be like an orc or whatever. Or maybe I'll be a spellcaster. I hardly ever run spellcasters, so that might be a change of pace. Ain't being so squishy, you know? Spellcaster get hit with a melee weapon, it's over. I guess that's why I gotta cast a spell. Everybody always wants you to do some parlor trick for your spell slot, and I don't fucking dig that shit. No, no, no. I'm a wizard. Yeah, I think I will do a spellcaster, so I'll keep you updated on that as life progresses on this meandering trail upon the tender fabric of the mortal coil. We're all in this together, everybody. This sounds like the end of the podcast, but we're just getting halfway through it. And I got something for you. This is really funny. Struck me as a little odd. Not odd. Hilarious. I was talking to Kenny. What's up, Kenny? Kenny is Kenny tier, and one of our coworkers was talking to Kenny because he's a listener of the podcast, which was cool to hear. What's up, buddy? So he's like, "Hey, man, I noticed that you're Kenny tier, right? Oh, that's awesome. Like, how do I get a tier, right? Like, what do I gotta do?" And we might be onto something. So, introducing the name of that podcast and the opportunity to become Octo tier. It's 8 times better than any other tier, right? Because all the other tiers are created equal, but not the Octo tier. The Octo tier puts a stop to all the other tiers. It's an all-around better tier. Sideways, it's infinitely better. So you can go ahead and give me $8, and no, you don't gotta give me $8. I don't. Yeah, we'll get you guys set up. It's weird. It's like people want a Patreon, and like it's normally like a bit, but like it's weird. Like, yeah, I'll give you $1 a month to do what you do. I'm like, that's weird. Like, would you give a homeless person $1 a month to be homeless? I mean, I guess if you liked it, right, you would do it. That's $12 a year to see somebody be homeless for a year. Those are pretty good rates for the consumer. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm gonna try that out then. I'm gonna do Patreons, but I'm gonna give $1 to the homeless people that I like and want to support once a month, randomly. They won't know. And yeah, that's how we're gonna do that. $12 a year, and I'm helping someone. So I'll set up a digital Patreon, and I'll be homeless for you guys. Just call me Hobo Elton. That's awesome. I like this. I like helping my community. So I've been watching a lot of anime recently. That's been really great. I've been wanting to expand my horizons on what I normally watch, because I normally just watch fighting animes. Give me some fights. Give me some punch ghosts. Give me some ninja shit. I'll do all of that. But I've been recently watching isekais, and if you don't know what an isekai is because you don't watch anime, it's just a show about a character who dies and then gets reincarnated in a fantasy world of some sort, right? So the one that's been catching my attention is the saga of Tanya the Evil, and Tanya the Evil in a previous life used to be a guy that fired people for a living and just listened to his executives and just tried to move up in the company, be a flunky. He fires a guy that one day, and then later that day on his way home, that guy pushes him in front of a train and kills him. And then like right as the guy's about to die, time freezes and like the voice of God appears, and this guy is an atheist and he doesn't believe in God, and God pretty much says, hey, normally you get reincarnated in this world, but I guess we're going to have to bend the rules a little bit for you. So transports into this world that's like going on during World War I, but there's magic users. It's pretty crazy. Explaining an anime in English is really weird. You just got to watch them. They're fun. So my goal is to finish this series and 3 other isekai series, because there's another show that's called Isekai Quartet, which is an isekai, and I want to just like get that full experience. That seems pretty cool, and I feel like that's really checking a box and expanding my horizons on anime. I'm watching a different one. It's called Konosuba. That one's really funny. It's just pretty much like a comedy. The action scenes are good when there's action, but it's hilarious. Like, it's the first time I sat down to watch the anime with the express intent of laughing. Um, so it's great. Having fun doing that one too. I paid for The Joker, the movie, bought it on my PlayStation. Call the Police. Society Man's coming. But it was a good movie. I liked it. I see why it won an Oscar. I mean, I see why any movie could win an Oscar, because most movies are fine. But it was good. I really liked it. I get the memes. I wasn't so emotionally touched by it as other people were, but hey, I want to watch Parasite. Got to get access to that. I'll pay money for it. I'll be honest with you. I'll pirate a movie. I don't give a shit. It's practically a victimless crime. It's not like I'm taking off the plate of anybody. Most people's salaries are set in stone already, so whatever. But if it's a movie that I like and want to support, I'll go pay the money for it. And I think I'll really like Parasite because it seems like the kind of dark comedy with a message that I like to watch. And speaking of dark comedy with a message, we're going to take a quick commercial break because I have responsibilities, and that's what's going to happen. So we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial, or I'll harm you physically. This is Alton with the name of that podcast, here to remind you that if you're ever using a public restroom, don't just rinse your hands and dry off with a paper towel. There's soap. Use the soap. You touched your dick at best, and at worst you wiped your ass. So just wash your hands. I'm going to start calling people out soon. And we're back. You're listening to the name of that podcast. And we have a special guest with us on the phone. It's calling live from prison. It's Eddy.
Hey, they gave me time on the phone.
That's awesome. It's good to hear from you, man.
Yeah.
How have things
Oh,
been?
it's great to hear you after months.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Why don't you tell our audience what you got put away for?
Well, don't pee in public.
Fair enough.
Because they don't like it. I didn't know that.
Who's they?
The establishment.
Ah, yes, the establishment that's also holding down Bernie Sanders doesn't want us peeing outside.
Yeah.
It's fucking
bullshit. It was in Nevada, too.
This is why I'm libertarian, because I should be able to piss outside as long as I'm not hurting anybody.
That's right. I have a liberal bladder.
Yeah, that's right. And if a kid is outside while I'm pissing, like, he has the freedom to look away.
Yep.
Or she.
And prison tip, wear hard pants.
Exactly. So now that you've been a hardened criminal, shaken by the prison industrial complex, do you find yourself a reformed citizen, or do you still think you're going to be about the same malarkey you were before your incarceration?
I think I'm going to lean a little more like towards the Biden, because if I got to pee, I got to pee.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I know how to make license plates now.
Oh, that's
pretty
really
well.
Good. I heard, what's her name?
A skill.
Lori Loughlin makes them now, too? Is that her name?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We call the jail full house because they have to overstock the cells, actually.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
So here's a little anecdote for you. Speaking of prisoners, my mother had posted a Facebook status a few days ago. Actually, I'm going to see if I can just find it and quote it here. But it was about Bill Cosby, and the post was unfortunately pro-Bill Cosby, if you can believe it.
You're a pro-Cosbyer.
I'm not a pro-Cosbyer. My mother...
Not you.
I don't think my mother is either, but, like, she certainly wasn't doing herself any favors.
She doesn't give a Huxtable about it.
She doesn't give a Huxtable about it. I want to find the post directly so I don't misquote my mother's defense of Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
But she had her points. I don't agree with them, but that's why we all that's why we're here. We're here to discuss.
I thought
things.
I saw him in here actually.
No, you might have been confused because it's Black History Month.
Oh.
All right, let me.
Right.
Here we go. All right, so the post says, this man has contributed. Now, this is what the share post said, the original post. It says, this man has contributed so much to our world, and despite his current legal battles and the allegations that are being made against him, I choose to celebrate his contributions. So I decided to comment, too bad he drugged and raped dozens of women while he was accomplishing all those things. Then my mother
That's
said,
a shame.
Then my mother said, quote, and I'll preface this all by saying I'm not the proudest of this. This is my bloodline. Son, ain't no way in hell them women can't look me in the eye and say they didn't know if they kept going back. Fuck out of here. It was back in the 70s. Everyone, and I mean everyone, even some Hollywood kids was getting high. Not saying it was right, but it is what it is. That's what they was all doing back then. Let's not talk about all the older white men that have done the same thing and not sitting in a prison being someone's bitch. So I said...
Like me.
Yeah, exactly. How's your cellmate?
Large.
Yeah, that sucks. I was actually talking to somebody...
And intrusive.
I can only imagine. So, being a large person myself, I was talking to someone yesterday about how picking on someone your own size doesn't work when you're 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I said about that.
Well, it's right.
Yeah, so I told my mom that we should talk about the white rapist too from Hollywood, and like to really drive home the point that Bill Cosby's not a great guy. I told her that even if he actually did half the allegations, he still raped like 24 women. Half of he almost, I think he almost broke 60 people raped.
Also, I'd like the point of there's a difference between getting high and getting roofied.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my first instinct. I'm like, getting high and getting drugged are two different things.
Yeah, like one's for fun, the other is for someone else's fun, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Here, I'll share with you another gem of the black community this week.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're just here to listen. I understand. All right, so my stepfather's cousin posted this on Facebook. He said, "You can choose sex orientation, not skin color. Please fight racism first." So I said, I think the only choice with sexual orientation is whether or not you want to come out. Also, we can fight for both at the same time. There's just gay white guys, so they get what they want sooner, LOL.
Oh, whoa. Actually, I processed that completely incorrectly the first time you read it to me. It's even more ridiculous than I thought it was.
Wait, what did you think?
He said, you can choose your sexual orientation, and for some reason I was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, wait, what? No. I decided that I want to suck dick now.
So
that doesn't make sense.
Oh man. And like, okay, so like there's another one. I have to find the other post, but I'm just like, the black community was really shooting 0 for 3 this weekend. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm in my notifications, so I'm not really like going back to the scene of the crime.
Sure.
I'm just carousing my memories here. I commented on one status. Okay, nobody responded to me. That's why I'm not in my notifications. But somebody posted a video. This rapper was like, TV is making people gay, and half the world's gonna be gay in 10 years, is his opinion, right? And I was just like, hey.
All right.
I'm like, hey, and everybody on the post commenting was like, oh man, what a damn shame. This is terrible. And I was just like, hey guys.
Treating it like it's gospel.
Right. They're like, Lil Boozy's right. But I'm just like, hey guys, like, what if like half the world has always been gay and the other half was homophobic?
Yeah. And maybe one side doesn't like to share it because they get killed for it a lot of the time in the past.
Oh, well. But hey, that's your choice, whether or not you want to share it. You can't choose to hide.
Like, I've never seen a gay guy kiss on TV and then be like, jealous.
But hey, man, I guess
that's all I'm saying.
I guess all that the other guy's saying is that you can choose to hide the fact that you're gay shamefully, but you can't choose to hide the fact that you're black. So let's fight racism.
That's more
first.
fair.
It's not like I understand where he's coming from. He's
But-
still wrong.
Yeah, it's still not good, but it's a better point.
Yeah, no, like it's a bad.
But it's
point.
also not great.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's like, look, you can secretly be ashamed of this, and you're lucky for it. I gotta live to be ashamed if I feel like being ashamed.
Yeah, he's like, I have to wake up and be black. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So,
Which, like, yeah, that's not too different. But yeah, whatever. One's physical, the other isn't.
it's fucking dumb, man. Like,
And it's dumb.
Of all months.
Couldn't you have waited a few weeks?
Seriously, what's it? I was so one of my friends, his coworkers, a couple of them got let go this month. They were black.
Ooh.
Yeah. So in the spirit of equality, 2 black guys got fired during Black History Month at my friend's job. And it was really weird because a week before that I was joking at where we
Oh
work.
no.
I was joking at where we work. I was just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not celebrating Black History Month because my black ass can still get fired on Black History Month. And I feel like somebody must have had that same energy at their job, my friend's job. And they were like, we'll show you. We'll show you. You're goddamn right. Equal rights, bitch. You black son of a bitch.
Hold my beer.
Hold my 40. Yeah.
Well, that's happy Black History Month, by the way.
Happy Black History Month. 2 unemployed black people.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what we fought for.
Equivalent exchange, right?
Yep. I mean, it's a compromise of sorts, you know?
Yeah. Hate to see it.
Do you like trivia?
Oh, sure.
Do you like Black History Month trivia?
I think I do.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't, and here's why I don't. Because Black History isn't a fucking game.
How come we don't get, like, black points for this month and trade them in for a prize?
I would like that, like card of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like black cards. I'm like,
I'd swamp emoji that.
or like dark privilege, I think would be the card of the day for the whole month.
Dark privilege.
Yeah, good card. Strong card.
Limited printings.
Yep. While supplies last, secret rares.
Mm-hmm.
The difference.
Ultra rare, full art.
Ultra secret, full art, hollow foil, rare.
Secret.
Love it. Hey, we work in the cardboard industry. I know people who make
Yeah.
really, really good money in the cardboard industry. Not
Yeah.
magic cards specifically. I know this guy. He gets paid like $25 an hour to make cardboard boxes for a living.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a degree to be a teacher, but being a teacher doesn't pay as well as being a box maker.
Yep. And you have to buy your own supplies when you're a teacher.
Yeah, it's like he has to just show up, clock in, hop on the forklift, and call it a day, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have that than bright young minds.
Me too.
Yeah, like, who cares?
At least we'll have a place to live if he makes boxes.
Exactly, like, who cares how smart the kids are as long as I can pack my house up efficiently?
I'm once again asking you for your home support.
Oh, did you see Bernie Sanders won the Nevada caucus?
Yeah, and did you see that Buttigieg is trying to challenge it? I'm like, stop it.
Well, so that's because Pete Buttigieg was in cahoots with that app developer in Iowa who made that bullshit.
Oh, I
app
heard a
that
little
crashed.
about that.
They were called like the Shadow Corporation. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of, like, what in the
That's
Team
not
Rocket?
shady at all.
Yeah, what in the Team Rocket is the Shadow Corporation?
We're called the Illuminatis.
We're Team Shadow. Go Zigzagoon.
Illuminati.
Oh my. So that reminds me of my Halloween costume that I want to do this year. I want to bring back an oldie but goodie. Reimagine for
Santa
PC
Claus.
audiences.
Oh.
No, I want to be a slutty nurse for Halloween this year. Yeah, but
And they're going to be like, are you the Joker?
well, so here's the kicker, right? I'm not gonna like have my ass and my tits hanging out, though. I'm sure people would love that in this age.
Sure.
So first of all, before I carry on, I love plus size costumes, like when they're like
Mm-hmm.
intentionally funny. So like a fat slutty nurse is a hilarious costume to me. A fat slutty nurse, but like it's a guy, is even more hilarious to me. So anyway, I'm gonna do slutty nurse, except I'm just gonna buy like nurse scrubs, and I got Crocs already,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna show up to work and just act like a slut for the day. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like really hungry for like dick and pussy all day
You
for
don't even
Halloween.
leave the bathroom.
No, I don't. Like people just come in and I give them checkups, and
Yep.
hopefully they do the costume contests and not lay off a bunch of people like they did last year.
They're like, why is there a stretcher in the male bathroom?
Well, there's two stretchers if I'm in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, cuz like I was really looking forward to the costume contest last year, but they decided to go with the haunted house instead.
Yes, they did.
A lot of ghosts.
There was a lot of jump scares.
Yeah, a lot of jump scares. Like, do you know the difference between horror
I'd say
and terror?
14% jump scares,
Yeah,
more than usual.
maybe 15% more than usual.
Oh, right.
So, fun fact: did you know the difference between horror and terror?
I thought I did.
So, horror,
Is terror the psychological one?
yeah, it's the build up to the actual kaboom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the horror. It's like, I'm scared actively, but like terror is what the creators of Child's Play do when they keep shooting angles from like Chucky's perspective.
Oh.
Yeah, they keep building up the suspense and making your stomach sick, and that was the best haunted house I ever went to.
Hands down.
Yeah, and how? So I went,
Halloween.
so I went to Singers last night to go hang out with a friend.
Yeah.
She got a new job recently, so she wanted to spend a little bit of one of her checks at the bar. I'm like, I'm here for it, right? Had a really great time last night. A couple of the guys that I LARP with came out, and what's crazy thing about Singers is like no matter when I go there or who I'm with, somebody knows like three other people who are there. Oh, thank you so much. The name of that podcast has been brought to you by the Marijuana Stick.
Hey.
Hey, we're over here doing
By the way, they allow me to do that in a jail.
Oh, no, that's good. Have you watched the Trailer Park Boys?
No.
They kind of do the same deal. So unrelated to the Trailer Park Boys, do you like Monty Python?
Yeah.
All right, so I only know Quest for the Holy Grail, right? And I think Story of David, whatever. I've never seen it.
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. Thank you. So
Yeah.
I just got a message from one of our coworkers, and she sent me a screenshot. It was my Tinder profile, and she was like, Forget the fact that this is from Tinder. I have a question because on my bio it says that my Patronus is a salmon."
Okay.
Yeah, so like my Pottermore account says my Patronus is a salmon, and she's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, I explained that and all," and she's like, "That reminds me of Monty Python," and so like I had no fucking idea what she was talking about, so I go look it up, and I'm like, Monty Python fish, and it was like the fish. There's something called the fish slapping dance. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so my Patronus is me doing the fish slapping dance.
Okay. Good.
Here you go. Disembodied voice in the house. You gotta use a lighter.
Ooh.
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 That's right, audience. Now you can't judge them based on how they look because you can't see them.
You're gonna get laid off.
Ooh, you had me at laid. Let's see here. I sent one. Okay, so then I have another buddy who just sends me a bunch of shit on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But he like sends it to me like 6 or 7 at a time before I respond to one. And then the next time we'll see each other, he'll be like, "Do you see all the stuff I sent you on Instagram?" As if I'm supposed to like remember it
Like
all.
it's a test.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to like remember it all. And like the next time I see him, like, "Yo, bro, like 18 days ago when you sent me that skiing video, I really enjoyed it."
I just imagine he hands you a Scantron. Remember?
Fuck those fucking things, man. I was left-handed, so I always smudged my stupid Scantrons.
Oh, fuck. I never thought of that.
Yeah, so I figured out the way to do it is like you turn your Scantron 90 degrees, but then like you get all fucked up because the numbers are sideways when you're doing your Scantron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure apparently I did fine enough to get out of high school with flying colors, so my Scantrons were at least passable.
Right.
Right.
What an effective method.
I hated them. They're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Scantrons, Women's History Month is coming up.
Hey.
I'm really excited for Women's History Month. I was raised by a single mother, so Women's History Month is really important to me. One of my favorite...
Are we going to have trivia for that, too?
We probably won't. I really hope we don't, man. I don't want trivia. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know a lot of women's history because, again, it's only taught in March. And, if there just so happens to be an important woman, they'll cover her, if she's important enough. And, that's just the education system.
They're like, now go sit back down.
Yeah, they're like, shut up, Susan B. We don't even... Did you make the flag? Yeah. But no,
Arthur?
I legitimately dig Women's History Month. Like I said, I was raised by a single mom, so I got a lot of love for the ladies. Also,
yep, me too.
Also, I'm a hopeless romantic, so and I hear that's in.
Hey,
it's 2020. Nobody can.
Is it?
I don't care.
2020. I'm defeated.
2020. I'll take what I could get. Nah, but I was gonna make a point. Shit. Give me a second. Baba Booey,
Yeah.
Baba Booey. Howard Stern's penis.
Howard
Baba
Stern's
Booey.
penis.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Hold on a second. Let's do like a Howard Stern, somebody's calling in.
Okay.
All right. Just let me know if I sound like Howard Stern. All right, we're here.
Okay.
I'm Howard Stern. Do I sound like Howard?
No, but we can do it.
All right. This is Howard Stern. How you doing?
That's better. That is better.
All right, we're on the line with.
So I'm gonna just be like the typical New York guy.
Yeah, all right. We're on the line with. Who are we on the line with today?
Hey, it's me, Mac, from Times Square.
Hey, Mac, how you doing from Times Square?
Oh, it's not right. You know what I like though is pussy.
Yeah, man. All right, you came to the right show. Tell me, how many times have you made a woman orgasm?
Oh, I can't count. I don't have enough fingers.
Did you lose
But
count?
I do know how to finger.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're in there. So I hear that there's something called a G-spot that has just been discovered in the year 1994. What are your thoughts?
And I've never seen it myself, but I listen to Kenny G.
I really like Kenny G. People say I look like Kenny G. There you
Don't
go.
forget to ask me if I like anal, because that's a Howard Stern staple.
Okay. Do you like anal or do you like oral? What's your preference?
Both at once.
Both at once. So 2 at a time, or?
Anyway, either way.
All right, man. So that was a fun exchange. So I have a good friend of mine, love him dearly. He's a really energetic dude, and I absolutely, I don't admire his voice, but it's so memorable, and I love doing his voice. So I'd like to do that with you now. I won't share his name because he's very paranoid of the government and shit like that, and he'll probably kidnap me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do the voice, right? Super energetic guy, right? He's like, "Hey man, what's going on, dude? Oh man, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, right, man. Yeah, dude. All right. I really mostly did that for my buddy at work. He really likes it when I do that voice.
Okay.
Yeah, so earlier in the show, I was talking about...
Check mark that box.
There we go. Black History Month, Women's History Month. Did you know Latino History Month is in the middle of 2 months?
Nope.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, Jamie, you want to look up Latino History Month?
That's not a month.
It's not a month, bro.
Best we can do, we'll split 2.
Okay, so Latino History Month runs from September 15th.
It is the equivalent of being half-assed.
To October 15th. I'm mad. Like, I'm mad, but also, what the fuck? Talk about splitting the difference.
That's the first trivia for Latino History Month. Did you know it's not a month?
I just imagine, like, September and October, we're sitting there like, come on, man. October's like, come on, September, you got Veterans Day, not much else.
Can you take the kids this week?
Yeah, October's like, come on, man, I kick off the holiday fucking season, dude.
I'm already on overdrive, bro.
Right,
I
so,
can't
like,
take the kids.
September gets, like, Veterans Day, Labor Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, and then October...
It's like they like pointed at a mat or at a calendar, like Brett Kavanaugh's calendar, and they're like, "Oh, you can have
They're like, all right, there's really nothing going on here. All right, okay. So I just had Jamie look up what holidays fall in September. We have Labor Day and Veterans Day.
All right.
I'm going to timeanddate.com now per Jamie. Okay, so like there's not a lot of things happening in September. We have National
Okay.
Grandparents' Day 2 days before Latino History Month. Constitution and Citizenship Day are right at the beginning of Latino History Month. It's Rosh Hashanah is on September 19th. I don't know if that's a moon
right.
holiday that like changes with every year, but it was on September 19th.
Yeah, I don't
this
remember
year.
either.
Emancipation Day is the 22nd of September. Native American Day is the 25th of September. Gold Star Mother's Day is the 27th of September, and Yom Kippur is the 28th
Gold
of
Star
September.
Mother's Day.
So I'm looking that up. Gold Star Mother's Day is not a public holiday. It falls on September 27, 2020, and most businesses follow regular Sunday opening hours in the United States. What do people do? Each year on Gold Star Mother's Day, the United States President calls on all Americans to display the nation's flag and hold appropriate meetings to publicly express their love, sorrow, and reverence towards Gold Star mothers and their families. Government buildings are also required to display the flag. So it's a day specifically to honor Gold Star mothers. So I think late soldiers become Gold Star recipients, and then, or no, I think their parents become Gold Star recipients because like they pretty much raise an extremely brave individual. So this is like Gold Star Mother's Day. So there must be a Gold Star Father's Day floating around on the calendar somewhere.
I thought that meant they just used a really nice Kodak camera.
Oh no, it's just like sticky stickers, gold sticker stars everywhere.
Okay.
That's what I imagine. It's just like the government airdrops them, just doubles back
Just
around.
get sprinkled in stickers.
Yeah, but like the backs are already peeled, so they get stuck to things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really fucking annoying.
Hate it.
I
It's like when Regis comes through and does inventory and leaves the fucking tags everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know about that.
No, I don't know about that.
You don't?
Nah.
So, you know how, like, in retail they have to do, like, inventory counts of everything?
Yep.
Like, every year? The company that does it is called Regis, and they have, like, these calculator things on their hip that they don't even look at, and they just, like, smack it, kind of. And they count your stuff, and then they leave these bookmark-shaped things everywhere, and you find them for months.
That's fucking dumb. So
Yeah.
check this out. I looked up national holidays for October because I'm still stuck on this Latino History Month falling in the middle of 2 months. Like the second half of 1 month and then the first half of another month, right? So I'm like, what's so unimportant about the first half of October? There's some pretty important holidays in the first half of October. It's National Depression Screening Day on the 8th of October. It's National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day on the 6th of October.
Okay.
It's
That's
National
weird.
Plus Size Appreciation Day on the same day.
All right.
The 1st of October is jam-packed with a bunch of events. We have International Day of Older Persons, National Black Dog Day. See, like, even black dogs have a history month.
They don't get a whole month, though.
Black Dog History Day. We'll get there.
Did you know a black dog invented peanut butter?
Here you go.
Oh.
I'm dead.
Ooh.
Fuck.
How about Black Lung History Month?
Yeah, Black Tar Heroin History Month. So
Oh.
here's a. I was talking about this earlier in the episode. I had submitted an application where we work for the sales internship,
Yeah.
and the resume and cover letter I submitted honestly is the best resume and cover letter I've ever put together because I did the research. You know what I mean? And I got the feedback and I made the changes, right? So I'm comfortable and proud of the work that I sent in. However, there was one part of my resume that I was very on the fence about, and that was including that I host a podcast and all the skills that comes with because of the
Yep.
podcast that we host.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like if you've listened to this podcast long enough and you're not a fucking dumbass, you already know it's all love. It's most of it's ironic hate speech.
85%.
Yep. Oh. So that's on my resume, right? So I'm talking to Mystery Golf, and he was like, "Oh, hey man, you should really consider the fact that if you put this on your resume, the hiring manager might want to like take a look, see what it's about." And I'm like, you know what? That is something to think about. I didn't think about it. So I thought about it. I hummed and hawed, tossed it back and forth, and decided to keep it on the resume because I stand by the work that we do here, and this will be around a lot longer than any intern opportunities will be. And if this is the reason
However, pending in the next 2 months, most videos will be shut down.
temporarily
For later reaccess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're listening to the name of that podcast, and like Eddie said, you're probably watching the video on YouTube. If you're not watching the video on YouTube, you're probably listening to it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Podbean, or just Anchor.fm, and follow those links.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because that's a thing.
Anchor.fm. This actually isn't a paid sponsorship. I'm just doing this for funsies.
Yep.
Because we
know
already
that
make so much
script.
money. So I was talking to Kenny the other day. Sup, Kenny? Hi, Kenny. Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
So I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me that one of our coworkers was talking to him about the podcast. You're like, hey man, I was listening to the podcast, and I saw that you were like Kenny tier, and I'm like, first of all, I'm like, whoa, it's really cool that somebody else is like interested in
Referencing.
exactly referencing it. So he's like, oh, so homeboy's like, so how do I get a tier? And Kenny's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know, give him money or something. So I think what that means, like I was mentioning earlier, is that I think, like, as much as we have, like, dicked around about it, I think we actually have to make a Patreon because people want to find a way to support us other than just listening.
Yeah.
Like, I think people want to give us $1 a month more than we actually need random dollars a month.
Yeah.
But, like,
I need a car.
well, that's the thing. It's like, if you want these prison interviews to keep going on, everybody, don't give us any money. But if you want to bail Eddie out of prison, because prison where Eddie is like Monopoly, where you could just pay your way out if you don't row doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or he can suck a few dicks for a card to get out, but
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Honestly, we just got to get to $50 because a get out of jail free card has a $50 value per the official
That's
rules
right.
of the Monopoly board game. Thank you, Milton Bradley or Hasbro. Don't care.
Or if you're like, the show was really good once he went to jail. I want him to stay there.
Yeah, the show was good when they didn't do anything for 5 or 6 weeks. I liked it.
I need a cool down.
Here you go. So, speaking of a cooldown, my buddy works at this place, and they fired 2 black guys on Black History Month.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. One of the black guys that got let go at my buddy's job, the way he described it was he was just like having a bad day, and they didn't know how to like interact with an angry
Talk to him.
black person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I guess.
So they just got rid.
Yeah, somebody call 911. You know, black guy's
Uh,
really angry on the workforce. Whoa. I forgot about that
what's he
song.
doing?
What's he
He's
doing?
brooding.
He's brooding. He's brewing, more like brewing up a scheme. We should just be careful. We should force it out of him.
Yep.
Who does that? Hey, you live and you learn.
Who's careful?
Or you live and you don't learn and you do it again.
Or you die and don't learn anymore.
Guess we'll find out. My friend's black, so we'll keep an eye out for him and follow his story. Oh shit! Here's a story that I told you about last week, but it came back up again. I told you about the doctor who's being sued by parents because he killed their baby in delivery.
Oh, the head thing.
Yeah, so guys, if you're listening and you're not familiar, apparently, and this is really crazy to me, you can pull a baby's head off during delivery on accidentals.
Ugh.
Yeah, and
Amazon does it a lot.
So yeah, well they do it in their warehouse. Excuse me, fulfillment center.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I really did not mean to misgender that warehouse.
Then we have to pay you different. Shut up.
Oh no, more like now we get to pay you different.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so what was I saying about baby heads? Okay. Yeah, they're getting pulled off. So when I had read the story, I first had to go look up if it was real, thank you. And then I had to, in searching for the story, I found a bunch of other stories where the same thing went down. Where the baby's head gets pulled off in, like, one reason or another, like, maybe, like... Okay, so in the story that I'm talking about, the the woman that was pregnant, I believe you go to see the obstetrician. I don't quote me, but there's a doctor that you see specifically, like a prenatal doctor, while you're going through your term, right? And she recommended a C-section because the lady had like a narrow pelvis or something like that, right? So like pushing the baby out would have been a health risk for the kid. Fast forward to the lady goes into labor at 28 weeks, so the baby's born premature, right? Or is at least going to be, spoiler alert. And the doctor in the maternity ward, he insisted that she go for the natural birth, and if it doesn't work, do the C-section after, even though her prenatal doctor knew that she needed a C-section, period, right? So the doctor who insisted incorrectly makes this lady push her baby out, and because her pelvis was so narrow and the birth canal and all of that shit was all too narrow for the body to come through, the head kind of just got left behind.
Ooh.
Yeah, also babies aren't supposed to come out feet first, but it does happen sometimes, and there's ways around it.
Yeah.
It can still work out. But that's what happened to that one. And in searching for that story, I found tons of other stories where, like, the head just got pulled off, or, like, the head just got left.
And it was all the same doctor.
It actually wasn't. And
Okay.
some of the a lot of the situations were handled like as best as you can. Like the doctor like got suspended or whatever happens to doctors when they do bad. Suspended.
Same with police, but yeah.
Suspended with doctor pay. Yeah,
Golf money.
I've never understood how suspended with pay was a punishment, because all I've ever wanted as an employee.
Isn't that just a forced vacation?
Yeah, it's like I've never wanted anything more than to not have to go to work and get paid my full.
Like, yeah, listen to this.
Yeah.
Look, you're not allowed to work here anymore, but we're gonna pay you.
Yeah, so you go home. I bet you feel real bad about yourself right now, don't you? Look at me. You messed up so severely that the only way you're going to learn your lesson is if we take away your way to work, but give you a way to, have
rewards.
money. Yeah, go home.
Then they dab his tears with $100 bills.
Well, that's his check, and you get paid in cash.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we hand deliver it to you with a free meal from any fast food restaurant you want on the way.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll stop.
And a free blowy.
You want to go to Chick-fil-A? You want us to go to Chick-fil-A for the sandwich, but you want us to go to Arby's for the fries? We'll do that. And then like that's not part of your paycheck. Like that's free lunch Friday.
No, it's because we gotta leave anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a real punishment. I hope he learned his lesson.
I really hope that doctor will never take another baby's head off again. See, like, I joke about it and people lose their mind. I'm like, oh, I'm going to kick that baby's head off, haha. And they're like, oh, you're a monster. Doctor really does it. Nobody knows it happens because people don't read the internet and they don't know what's real anymore.
And they get paid for it.
How do you think about that? Russia has essentially microdosed the internet in America, and now everybody knows that like they're tripping a little bit when they're on the internet, so they like take everything with a grain of salt, even the truth.
Yep.
They're just like, I don't know about that.
I think you just gotta put a little more effort into figuring things out is all.
Yeah.
Instead, people are just hand-filled information. That's why they're so wrong all the time.
So speaking of that, I read a comment today that described someone we're very familiar with on Facebook as what you get when you breathe life into a MAGA hat. He's like, sorry, I mistook you for that. And I was just like, that's amazing. That's an amazing quip. He's like, you look like... It's like a reverse Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. You just create a life form with the hat?
Nah, so like a snowman...
Like out of the hat?
A snowman walks up to the hat and puts it on, and then it's like a whole... and then like the hat takes all the life force from it, and like it's like a cordyceps...
Oh, he melts?
It's like a cordyceps fungus, right? So now it just controls the body.
Okay.
It latches onto the brain of the snowman and controls the body. And that's how MAGA hats work.
That's how they got Snowden.
They got snowed in. With Cuba Gooding Jr. The name of that podcast is brought to you by Snow Dogs 2. Snowden. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yep.
Snow Dogs 2, Eric Snowden.
Look for it.
It's going to be on TV. Straight to TV.
I'm really impressed with the amount of time they give me on the phone here.
No, it's insane. Like, is it late or something?
I think they're asleep.
What time is it where you are?
Well, my buddy actually snuck a cell phone in through his ass.
Oh, nice. Is your so did you know Charles Manson had like 10 cell phones in his time in prison before he died in prison?
Wow.
Yeah, like...
And he paid every plan the whole time.
He did. Like, he is, if for nothing else, an upright and honest person.
Right.
Yeah. You know he got Sharon Tate killed?
Yep.
So, reading about... so, here... Okay, I learned about another Hollywood elite that got away with it, so my mom might have a case. Hear me out. Let me finish. So reading about Charles Manson got me to reading about Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski was her husband at the time. He was off like doing a film while she got stabbed to death at 8 months pregnant at his house by the Manson family.
Okay.
So it was probably a hit, first of all. Anyway.
Sure.
Bear with me. It was a really controversial thing I just said, that Roman Polanski put a hit out on Sharon Tate. And after I tell you what I say next, you might not disagree with me. So anyway, sometime later, maybe decades later, Roman Polanski is wrapped up with an underage sex with a minor teenager scandal. Fucking teenager girl. I think he drugged her and all that shit. You can go look it up. It's all on Wikipedia. Real reliable shit.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, Roman Polanski, you got to go to court for this. He pleads guilty to the lesser of the two offenses. And he ends up finding out that the judge isn't going to go easy on him. The judge is setting up to throw the book at him. So Roman Polanski goes to France. He leaves and goes to France and becomes not a sovereign citizen, excuse me. He becomes a citizen of France, and they can't extradite him. Now he's like a citizen of France and Poland, and he's never faced justice for the crime he committed, and he admitted to it, which was like sex with a minor.
Yeah.
And like, not even like, oh, she looked 21. No, she was like 12.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. And,
well,
I get it. I get how black people feel on Black History Month. Whoa, they got Bill Cosby so quick. And I'm over here like, he's a monster. And also, like, I feel like they treated him like any other criminal who rapes people should be treated. But, like, I understand, like, a lot of people in the black community feel like You got your Roman Polanskis, you got your Woody Allens, you got your Harvey Weinsteins, you got your Kevin Spaceys, and they're just like,
Mhm.
when are one of these guys gonna get the book thrown at them? Like, when are we just gonna stop? When are we gonna just like not stop at the Reputation and actually have these like old white creepers actually go to prison for this dumb shit? I mean, dude, for crying out loud, we got George Zimmerman walking the streets. He killed a teenager.
Yeah, that's nice.
He murdered a black teenager, and the cops explicitly
Fucking
told him. Yeah, the cops explicitly told him not to go outside when he called the cops on them. And I like when I found that part out, watching the case back in the day, I was like, it's over for him. He literally went against what the cops told him to do, and he said he was doing it because he was threatened, and he called the cops because he felt threatened, and he like shot the kid because he felt threatened. I'm like, but the cops told you to stay inside because they were gonna do their job apparently, and like it all would have been fine because the kid was literally just cutting through the gated community to go home from watching basketball with his cousin. It's like the dumbest shit ever. And I'm like, I listened to this story and I imagined if it was me, you know?
Mhm.
That's the kind of shit that makes me like really hope the afterlife exists, because I would really love to see how shit shakes down after I die. They're like, this man, well, I'm 6'4", 6'5", right? So if I got into a fight with George Zimmerman and he shot me to death, they would probably be like, well, he's a pretty big guy, so he probably started it.
Well, you know where Cosby went wrong? He didn't move to France.
No, he didn't move to France. Or where would they have liked Bill Cosby? Where else do they like him? Everywhere?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, like, because I didn't know that New Zealand was even a place that had sentient life in it. Yeah.
That was too new.
Yeah, there's tons of people in New Zealand, and they like a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
They have hobbies. Weird.
It's weird. It's like people from New Zealand exist. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Hey, Eddie, well, I appreciate you giving me a call from your prison cell. I know it's been
Oh
hell.
yeah, it's. I think the guards are waking up.
Nah, they're not waking up. Bill Cosby made sure of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So I thought it was him. I saw.
Yeah. Careful. I heard Roman Polanski's cousin, Romania Polanski's in there.
Oh.
Yeah, and his. And
Yeah, I
his,
saw him. He pulls the bingo numbers actually every
Yeah.
Saturday.
I hear their grandfather, Turkmenistan Polanski, is going to be there too, and Pakistani Polanski. They could be like
And
Kevin's.
Metallica's going to do a concert.
That's awesome. Metallica Icons was great. Hopefully it's that good.
No, maybe.
We should make Polanskis of different ethnicities and sell them like dolls, you know? Like,
Mhm.
you got your Roman Polanski, then you got your Greek Polanski, and Mexican Polanski, American Polanski, African American
Tree
Polanski.
Poloski or Polanski.
Yeah. Nancy Polanski.
My name's Nancy Polanski.
Look at my jowls. Man, the Senate has so much jowls.
It should just be called the Jowls.
Yeah, honestly. I think if you took all the jowls in the Senate and wrapped them around all their heads, they'd suffocate.
Our flag is just a skin flap
It's just a skin flap.
waving in the wind.
Well, if they didn't have jowls, they'd be jawless, so I guess it's for the best. Take what you can get.
Fair.
Yeah. But, you know what, Eddie? I think I'm going to let you go, man. It's been real. I think this is really going to be the end of the episode for the night. We were on the phone for quite some time. Crazy. We were able to make this happen with a little guts and determination.
It's good.
Hell
We
yeah.
figured a little bit out
Feels
for
really
now.
good. Hey, you know, I got a couple parting thoughts. You got any parting thoughts, Eddie?
No. Everything just sucks like always.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
the way I like to say it, now, not bad is good, and, like, not drastically different is usually not bad either, so.
No news is good news.
No news
Right.
is good news. Blues Clues is, coming back, I hope.
New shoes.
New shoes. Who's Jews? Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been the name of that podcast, episode 15. We did it. We got there.
Woo.
Yep. Next time we do this, maybe in a month or so, will be the next episode. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, take it easy, Eddie. Have a good night.
See ya.
I'm ill, man, my swagger run any backs or I kill niggas way faster than sickle cell with a cop badge. I'm hot, man, hotter than the whole show. My glow cold, I'm so stoned. It got me saying what like I'm stone cold. My flow is sold on a snow cold. I meet these bad women, wanna get to know them, they just wanna bone. Feeling so alone with a babe beside me. I'm haunted by the past behind me, don't mind me. I'm anxious, I'm steady dreaming of spaceships. I'm in the fiction, these niggas is in the fake shit. These flake niggas, I'm calling out the facade. They gave a shallow and broad, but when they answer the God, they spitting that I'm telling him to his face. Thank you for giving me space to figure out if you is and figure out if you ain't the realest nigga I know. Going hard inside the pain, or if you just as your bro who isn't worth his weight. I get it, it's all a test. But why you graded my best reaction to all this death? The smell that lives around me, it sounds like you can stop it, but rather just sit and watch while the vibe gets more obnoxious. But this ain't a diss track on a big man. I can give a shit like a chick with a big can. I'm broke hoping I got enough fucking road just to roll up. I'm hoping I do, or I'ma have to roll up on some Karens. Snatch a bag like we sharing, or maybe I hit up Sharon like you need some dick. She said maybe in a week you hurt my fucking hip. I got her walking like a crib who watched a backflip. Shit sick like a dookie with sinuses. Catch me filing the product for the highest bid. Know that I'm the man, yesterday I was the kid. Catch me up and let it candy hitting licks with all the skids, cause I really ain't shit. I'm not a god, I'm not an inspiration. I'm just a slob with no real explanation. I take a huge part of the art of frequent masturbation. I think admitting that comes with some heavy implications, but I don't give a rat's ass with a wire on it. These honkies want it, I got the ass hooked on some monkey phonics. I'm supersonic, shit sick like bubonic. I think she trying to fuck, but keep it kinda platonic, find it kind of ironic. I'm too cool like Scotty, too hotties tag team. I'm Green Mile, Goma Pile, me Joe Green. With mad style, denial is dash mad dreams. Good plans, bad schemes, had an issue with my image since the acne. Now I know I got the drip like I did back with the acne. I'm acting like acne, I'm capping, don't at me. I'll slap every fan that plans to wanna stand me. Do you understand me? Do you understand? I'll go on the lamb and go hand with my stand. Go hard like the dick that sits inside my pants. Oh my god, I'm the fucking man. Yes, I am. I'm a motherfucking problem. I'm a goon goblin, black dwarf, drown imp, super mutant, ghoul sid, superhero who spits. Villains to me ain't shit. I'ma make they wig split, rip it wicked sinister, ready to administer the biggest nigga to do it since Jolly Green was for dinner. In it to win it, pain, but I'm grinning, flexing the death, cause flexing me is so much more serious. I'm on a furious cruise inside my element. I'ma pull stunts and I'm addressing all the elephants. Inside the room, I feel the doom is fucking imminent. All these little niggas thought the kid was too irrelevant.